Welcome to the Rawkwardness podcast, where we chat with songwriters about why, where, when, and how they got started in music, and they play us one of the first songs they ever wrote. And of course, we chat about the journey from there. We're your hosts. I'm Rose Sean.
I'm Terence LeClaire.
And I'm Tony Tancredi.
We normally have to go much further back in time, but our guest this episode is already an accomplished singer-songwriter at the tender age of 20. She appeared on season 16 of The Voice, Team Blake, when she was just 15 years old, and she's been releasing original music ever since.
Get it.
We're talking to the sweet and talented Lili Joy about Pompeii, the Titanic, and other sources of songwriting inspiration. Working with John V, episode 5.
Woo, love you, John.
The homie. And of course, we have to chat a little bit about The Voice. So stick around for a song off her upcoming album. Here's Lili Joy.
I mean, that really was kind of what it was at the time. I was like, I was also like 15. So I was in like a really like quirky stage of my life where I was like,
a Rawkward stage.
Let's do it. Yeah, totally Rawkward.
Well, I mean, I only wish that my awkward stage had looked so cool.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it sure translates well.
Oh my gosh. I'm excited. This is really cool.
Welcome.
Lili Joy.
Lili Joy.
To Rawkwardness.
Yeah.
So excited to see you.
It's perfect.
Thank you for braving the drive from where?
Chino Hills.
Chino Hills.
That is a trek.
Yeah.
I had to work out there one time, and they like vanned us out there, and the best part is it was just to shoot in a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Really?
You could have picked any Buffalo Wild
Well,
Wings.
they didn't have that many in Southern California yet, so
okay.
they were like, well, I guess we're just going to Chino Hills.
Groundbreaking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Our Buffalo Wild Wings. I know exactly which one you're
Your
talking
Buffalo
about.
Wild Wings was on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
you've
Very
been.
exciting.
Okay.
So this is kind of interesting because, we talk to people about like way back when they were younger, remember when you started doing this, but you are still like a pretty young person. So this is kind of like a fun little twist because a lot of our guests hadn't even written their first song by the time they were your age. Because you're how old now?
19.
Yeah. So see,
Yeah.
this is cool because you kind of, you've been at it for a minute though, right?
Yeah. I've been doing music for like as long as I can remember, but not like in a cool way, like in a like, I sing and stuff way, like I don't know. But I started writing when I was like 13, I think.
Oh yeah.
And
So that's that's a good 6 years. That's you've got
It's a career right there.
yeah, that is a career.
Yeah.
So how did that begin for you? Like what instrument or what was your inspiration?
At first, it's always just been guitar really, but I've written a couple songs on piano now that I'm older, and I was like, okay, I'll take some piano lessons. But
Smart.
yeah, I started on guitar, and the first song I ever wrote is so horrid and awful, and it's actually on Spotify under a different name.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because we'd love to hear
That's
that
the
one actually.
kind of stuff we
No.
like, yeah.
That's actually the point of the show.
Yeah. Rawkwardness.
Do you remember any of the lyrics?
Oh yeah, it was called "We Are Young," and it's so
Well, right, what you
horrid.
know?
Yeah, right.
yeah. It was like, we are young, we are young. Like it was like it
Love
was
it.
very like
I
I
bet
don't
it was
know.
a hit. That's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't get like sued by I think Fun.
Fun.
Doesn't have a song called that.
Okay, I was thinking of that, but
Same lyrics, different melody.
Yeah.
Different melody.
well, yeah, but I mean, the way that your melodies sound good, I don't know. But so it's on Spotify, but you're like disavowing.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. My friends occasionally will like send me a screenshot because they have it saved in their like playlist, and they'll be like listening to "We Are Young," like, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so scared. It's so
my
awful.
goodness.
Well,
No, that's
like a
awesome.
fun-
but I mean,
That's
they
awesome.
probably like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I was at a time in my life where I was like, I thought it was really cool to like do weird stuff with my voice all the time. So I was like doing these like really low, like, like I don't know why. I can't
'cause
even
you could.
explain it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because I
awesome.
could. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah.
I mean, that's neat though, because I feel like, people when they kind of first start out with it that I feel like are afraid to experiment, are really just trying to sound like, I don't know, whoever their favorite artist is. So I think the fact that you were like, let me try some weird stuff. Like, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
That's a cool Easter egg on Spotify.
I know.
guess
I'm like, all
listeners
right,
try
listener
to find
challenge.
a song. Yeah.
Find We Are Young.
Oh,
Because it's not called We Are Young on Spotify, right?
It is called We Are Young on Spotify.
Oh, so okay, there we go.
It's just
But
not under your name.
It's just not under my name.
That's
So
what he's
if,
got, okay.
yeah,
All right,
if you,
well-
if you can't find it.
All right,
Yeah.
you got
I'll
your
find it.
assignment,
I'll find it.
listeners. Yeah.
Tony will find it.
Oh, I'll find it right now.
I'm not even kidding. It's so terrible.
Well, I suspect that it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
And also, the show's
I-
called Rawkwardness. It's not called
Yeah.
Perfect
Yeah.
Song.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
because this is the thing, right? Like, we kind of, our sort of catchphrase is that everyone starts somewhere. And so whether you're, Beyonce or Coldplay or whatever, like, presumably their first songs weren't that good either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does make me feel better.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that's the point.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about like the process of learning anything. Like, how many times did you fall off your bike? So it is kind of about that journey from like, I think I want to try this, but it's scary. But I actually love that this song that you now think is like so terrible is actually like published in the world because, when I kind of started trying to do that, I didn't play them for a soul. Like no one ever. Maybe my mom. That's it.
I think honestly, it was because I've been very, very blessed to have a family that is like overly supportive of everything.
That's amazing.
And so when I did like write my first song, she was like, my mom, she was like, we need to put it out. We need to get this out to the world. Like this is like da-da-da, like, you know what I'm saying? So
Hell yeah, good on her.
Yeah.
Shout out, Mom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out mom.
No,
Definitely.
that's wonderful.
So-
I really love to hear that. That is actually,
Yeah, what do we say?
we love supportive parents.
We love supportive
Yes.
parents.
Yeah.
Love
Supportive
'em.
parents.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, it's also kind of cool that your mom sort of had the like savvy to be like, oh, this is something that is possible for us to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, we can just get somebody to record you, and like, there's this website where you can upload this to the internet. Because I feel like not everybody's parents even, or they might, they're like theoretically supportive, but wouldn't know how to like help you execute that.
Yeah. Yeah. She was so sweet too, because we found this like old guy that lived in Chino Hills, like, obviously where I lived. And he just had like a little home studio. And we went in and I recorded it there. And it's literally guitar and like vocal and stuff like that. And that was it. Like,
That's awesome.
so yeah, she was the one who put that together, obviously. So I
That's
was like,
so amazing.
I wonder who the
thank
old
you.
guy was. Do you know
Yeah.
him, Tony?
I might
Tony
know.
knows everybody.
Yeah.
Do you
Was
know his name?
Old Man Wells?
I have no idea. I don't honestly at this point. I don't even actually remember what his face looked like. Like
Yeah.
I don't remember. Maybe it's in the credits somewhere, like his
All right.
name or something.
Tony,
He was like,
you have your homework assignment.
That was it up until
Oh, wow.
Float. That was the next song I put out after I went on The Voice.
Oh,
And
yes.
then-
I have much to ask you about that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's rad.
There's definitely a lot to say about that.
How old were you when you got the voice?
So I'm trying to remember. I think I was 15
Okay.
when the whole process started.
So,
and
wait,
I was
so you
15
recorded
when it
with
aired.
Old Man Chino when you were 13? Is that?
I think I might have even been 12 or 13, but I had been doing music pretty much my whole life. And it was like I'm putting air quotes up right now. This is my thing. So and my mom was always just like, yeah. Like I'm on it. Like
That's so rad.
da. And I was also an actor as a kid. So she was
Oh,
used to
sweet.
like
Oh, okay.
really like helping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
nice, yeah.
That
She-
makes sense.
Stage mom a little bit, but like sweet stage
Well,
mom.
I would say like
I love your mom.
entertainment.
She sounds so amazing.
Entertainment industry savvy is
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
she's
good.
really, she loves it. Like, and the funny thing is both my parents, they don't know anything about, like, they grew up not in any of this at all.
Yeah.
And neither of them have ever worked in anything like this. But for my mom, it just like once she started doing it for me, she just like really was like, oh, this is so interesting. I love
Aw.
it. And I don't know if that's just bias because she's doing it for me and I'm her daughter, but yeah, no, she's my bestie. She's like,
Aw.
That's so amazing.
she's everything to me for real.
I bet
So-
she's so
that's
proud
sweet.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, did she have anything to do with you ending up on The Voice? Was that something she pursued for you?
No. Okay, so actually I auditioned for The Voice voluntarily when I was like 13, and then because that was like the age limit, I went in and did that. I didn't get through the second callback, I think it was. And then, so I was like, oh, whatever. So I let it go. And then when I was like, I think I was 15. Yeah. When I was 15, they found my YouTube channel and they
cool.
emailed me like through my email on my YouTube channel. Cause I had a YouTube channel like forever and ever and ever and ever. And like my mom would come to all my gigs and like film me from the audience and like throw the videos up on YouTube. And like one of the videos, they were like, they were like, oh, we really like this video. Like we want you to come in for like come in past a few rounds of auditioning and like da-da-da or whatever. And then, that was how I got it. But yeah, it just came to me, which I was like
That's
really,
so rad.
I was really thrilled about it because I was
Yeah.
like, I've always said like, cause I always wanted to be on The Voice. Like since I was really young, I was like, I want to be on The Voice cause I watched it all the time. And it was funny that like the moment I stopped caring about it, it like happened. And I was like, oh, okay.
Isn't that what life is like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the judges, were the judges the same from the first audition to like when you did it?
Because it was 2 years later, something like that.
Yeah, I think
'Cause they've
they
changed the
changed
guard.
because I think the year that I went was the first year that John Legend.
John Legend.
I went back in
was
time.
on. yeah, John Legend. No, the first year that John Legend was on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I actually didn't realize before, like I was, just Googling you last night. I didn't realize you had been on The Voice. I've actually never seen it. I'm certainly aware
Oh,
of it.
what? For real?
What?
Yes.
I've even seen a couple episodes.
No, I mean, I'm obviously
Rose is
aware
very
of it.
vintage.
No. I
That's
just
okay.
can't, man, I don't
I
have a
love
television,
that.
so I don't really watch network TV, like it's all Netflix, whatever.
No, that's fine. I don't watch it either. I don't watch TV very much either.
But I ended up watching what do they call it? The blind audition where the judges are like faced away from you.
Yeah, that's the whole big thing of the show.
Yeah, and it was really fun.
That's why it's called The Voice, Rose.
Well, thank you for explaining the concept to me. But no, it was cool. It was cool to like see Blake like reacting and then like not even realizing that was one of Gwen's songs and have Kelly Clarkson be like, dude, you know what that is, right? And he was like, what? That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that show, I have the sense that they are kind of trying to recruit people who are more like properly artists, or at least trying to be, like in the early days of American Idol, I feel like it was just like anybody who thought they were maybe good at singing,
Yeah.
with this idea that, you can just be like a good shower singer and come in and we'll make you a star.
Yeah.
But I feel like The Voice is like maybe a little bit more like realistic in a way.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure what is the contract proper way to say this, but I think the producers are really, they want to make sure that there is something to you other than like just the voice, so that if you get into the higher rounds of the competition, it's more interesting for people.
That makes a lot of
But
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think they are really careful, and the producers on that show are really sweet and like really awesome. But they're just very they're careful. Like they're very careful. They're very diligent, and like if you get picked to go on, there's definitely a few reasons.
Yeah.
There's definitely more than one.
So I'm curious what you sang for your first audition.
For my first audition, Actually, you guys know John.
Yeah,
I
John
was-
V, episode
yeah.
5. I love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
episode
He's my
5.
homie.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
John.
Yeah.
I was a student of his at the time because that's how I
Wow.
met John. Is I was his like music student
Oh, really?
Oh.
in Chino Hills.
So cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And he
'cause-
wasn't the
Oh,
old guy.
'cause, yeah, he used to live out in
No.
Corona. I forgot about
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Because John grew up in Chino Hills. We
Yeah.
actually went to the same high school, but like
Yeah,
like 12 years apart.
Several, let's say several
Yeah,
years
yeah.
apart.
So yeah, we went to the same high school, but yeah, I was getting lessons from him at the time, and then I heard they like emailed me or whatever, and he came with me to that audition and played guitar for me so that I could
rad.
focus on
Oh,
like the singing part.
That's cool.
So he was actually there for the audition, and I sang Broken Clocks by SZA.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Love SZA.
Same here.
Favorite artist of all time, probably.
She's amazing. That album, Control, has been spun in my house over and over
That's
and over
such a
again.
cool song choice,
Oh
too.
my god,
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
love SZA. She is just like, But I sang Broken Clocks, and I also sang. It's a Billie Eilish song. I sang a certain Billie Eilish song. I'm totally blanking on what it's called right now. If
Ocean Eyes.
teardrops could be bottled, there'd be swimming pools filled by models. I can't remember what that is.
Shoot.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that.
I'm forgetting
show
the
notes.
name.
Show notes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those. I forget what it's called, but I sang those two songs. Those are my
Yeah,
like
so cool.
audition songs. Yeah.
And then so, oh well, didn't work out. On to the next thing. And then like 2 years later, they're like, hey, YouTube star.
We need you back.
I know. Was it
Yeah.
which YouTube video in particular? Do you know that they saw?
Yeah, it was a video. It was like it was a really random video.
Oh, really?
Like super red. It was one of me singing at the mall by my house. And it was literally just, I had my like purple electric guitar.
Oh,
And
cute.
like at the time I was really into wigs. So I was like wearing like a purple wig and like
Wigs
the
are so
purple
fun.
guitar.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, yeah.
so fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I was singing a Billie Eilish song. I think I was singing, that's what it's called. I Don't Want to Be You Anymore. That's
There
the
we
name of the
go.
song.
Oh, yeah.
And then I came in and sang that during my audition, like once they had me on.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So they'd already heard you sing that song. but
Yeah. And then I
Okay.
came back and sang it. But I think my very first audition when I was 13, I sang a jazz song. I think at the time I was like really into jazz. So I think I sang like an Ella Fitzgerald song.
Oh,
or something
sweet.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk too much about The Voice because you have so much press about that. But
It was great though. I'm very appreciative, but yeah, it was a lot.
yeah, well, I mean, certainly, yeah, like you said, really good training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if only if we're just handling pressure, which is kind of a huge
yeah.
part of almost everything in your life, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of propels you into a career now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
100%.
you're making really great music.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Versus is such a jam.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
I love that song.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously.
Thank you. I absolutely love that song too. I have to say everything recently that I've been making, I'm just like, I'm at a point where I'm like, yeah, I really like this. Like,
Nice.
That's so
I
rad.
love it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So once The Voice was over, is that when you kind of were like, okay, I'm gonna like really get into like writing and recording? That's kind of
Yeah.
what the press made it seem like, but
Yeah. Well, it was kind of, I had been writing the songs that I released like prior to like my time filming. So earlier that year, kind of, I was already writing a little bit. And then by the summertime, we were like mixing and then we put it out by like June, I think it was that I put out Float. And then my show aired in February. So, it was like a
Oh.
little after. Yeah. But I had
Okay.
been writing that year and then we released the EP that summer.
so it was like already in progress when you
Yeah.
were okay. That's
it was
cool.
it was in progress because John and I were working on that
Nice.
back in Chino Hills.
Well, it's actually
Yeah.
probably really smart timing too. Like don't
Oh,
don't
yeah.
wait too long.
Yeah.
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 That's interesting. Did the show like help you with any kind of promotional stuff, or at least indirectly? Do you feel like you kind of got a little boost from that? Or?
I definitely got a boost, which was really helpful.
yeah.
Just like, I mean, literally just the day that my show aired alone, I got like thousands of followers, like out of like, I think, yeah, just out of nowhere. So that really helped when I released the EP. But yeah, like indirectly, it was helpful. It was really helpful.
That's cool. So what was the first single after that? Was that Float?
Yeah, so it was Float.
And that's the one you said you were going to play for us?
Yeah, I'm going to play that one because I think that one has a really fun story because I started writing that like I think at like 14.
Nice.
And like it's been called like multiple different things. It used to be totally different. And I think it's just had its own little like journey into what it is today. So
That's
oh
cool.
yeah, tell
really
us about
cute.
us about that. What did it used to be called?
it used to be called, it had multiple names. I think the first name I had for it was Pompeii,
Oh,
which
cool.
is really interesting.
Like the Bastille
Like the
song.
Bastille song. It seems like I have a common thread of like I'm threatening the copyright of
I was going to say,
artists.
it keeps us from having to ask the question of like, what were you listening to at the time?
Oh yeah, I was definitely listening to that. But yeah, it was Pompeii, and then I changed it to Pink and Blue Feathers for a while.
So okay, Pompeii, then Pink and Blue Feathers,
Yeah.
and then
I think there may have been one other name in there, but I think those are the two most prominent ones.
wow. And so were the name changes because you changed the entire meaning of the song, or did you just kind of focus on different? I don't know.
I think the imagery changed a few times. Like I think originally I wanted to like portray like, because it's like, oh, let's float away. I was thinking about like, okay, what inspired the song was like, I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of like the two lovers who died at Pompeii and they're like holding each other.
Yes.
Oh,
And
the eternal hug.
exactly. That was what was on my mind. And I was thinking about like, what if they could like get away from there?
Wow,
and
that's
so then
deep.
I was like thinking about that, and then I was like writing that, and then it kind of like evolved a little bit, and then I was like, okay, we're floating away, like like we're different but we're the same, like pink and blue feathers, like I don't know. And then it came to that, and then it just changed, and then it ended up on Float, which was it was fun.
Aw.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that is such an interesting thing to reference as like a 14-year-old, like
Right?
Pompeian mummified remains. That's really cool, though. I think that's really romantic and amazing. I think I actually just saw that image for the first time, like very recently.
Really?
Yeah, and I like, and then Pink and Blue Feathers. I mean that I see that leading to Float. That makes sense.
Yeah, they're a little more connected than like Pompeii, but
Well, I
yeah,
suppose ash floats.
that's true.
Sure,
That's
yeah.
true.
Ash floats on a breeze. I don't know.
Yeah, as
definitely
morbid
does.
as that sounds. I always had like a huge fascination with specifically Pompeii and the Titanic. I don't know why,
Wow.
but I think it's like the idea that like how like their lives just froze in that moment, and that was it.
Yeah.
And like
So
whatever
true.
they had going on at that time, that's all they had.
Yeah.
It's so funny in the movie, the trailer for the movie, they show like a clip of like this old couple that's just like hugging
you know
in
what?
the room,
I
like
really
while it fills
thought-
up, and that's like the Pompeii couple.
Yeah.
No,
Trippy.
that
Yeah.
montage I think is probably the most powerful part of that entire film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's like the people in steerage who know they're gonna die, and there's like the mother like reading her children a bedtime story, and the old couple holding each other. I mean, to me, like the rest
Savage.
of the film is
Yeah.
all just like big effects, but like that part, that montage was the emotional center of that movie. Totally.
It's
Yeah.
powerful. Adds
And then
meaning.
with Celine singing on top of
Oh
it.
yeah, well, of course.
Oh my god.
I mean, Celine adds gravitas to every situation,
Oh,
but
man. I used to love that song.
That song is so
Embarrassing.
good. Yeah.
it's okay, Tony. This
Yeah.
is a safe space.
Okay, good. I feel safe.
But I also think that's interesting that like teenagers and even like kids seem to be sort of almost universally fascinated by things that are like a little like sad or morbid too, like
It makes me wonder about past lives and stuff, like where it's
Yeah.
just like, oh,
Yeah.
that tragedy seems familiar. I think about that sometimes where it's just like, are we just the people there's dreams come true?
wow, Terence.
They're
Deep.
deep.
That
Yeah.
is fascinating. I would love to talk about that.
Go ahead,
love
please.
that. No, I mean, oh my gosh. I feel like some of the things that I enjoy, I'm like, why why do I enjoy that? That's so weird.
Wait, how
but
did
it's
I
so
find
interesting
that?
to think about it like that. Oh my god.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that's yeah, with that like morbid fascination thing. I mean, like I think about like, you know, a series of unfortunate events or like
Yeah.
God, when I was a kid, it was like every, you know, kid character was a freaking orphan. Which like that's so dark. Like, hey,
Like Oliver.
or yeah, Oliver or like Punky Brewster, I think was an orphan.
Oh, yeah.
Pippi Longstocking was effectively an orphan. The Little Princess, like all these characters, and it just seemed like everything that was popular when I was a child was like about an orphan,
Oh my
or somebody who
God.
thinks they're an orphan. Sometimes they end up not being orphaned after all.
So cute. I adore that. I think there was a book I read as a kid that was like that, and I forget what it was called, but they went and lived in a museum because
Oh, yes,
They
the
were-
mixed up files of Mrs. Baisley, Frank Weiler.
God.
Wow.
And I don't think they were orphaned. They had some, but like these two kids
Like,
go
yeah.
into New York City by themselves
Yeah.
and just live self-sufficiently in the
Yeah.
museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have a whole plan. I loved that book.
I love that book. Yeah, I was obsessed with that one.
Yeah. I was I mean, I don't know about you, but I was always like a little obsessed with like stories about like kids kind of being self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Aw.
Because
You
it's
know.
you like you're like it's like adulthood, and like I feel like every kid like craves adulthood. They want that
Oh,
like
yeah.
ability to make their own choices and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like they can make it on their own. So I think that's why that's so fun to read books like that.
Yeah. Oh man. Ugh, I could talk about that book forever, but we'd love to hear the song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let
So-
me definitely.
So we'll give you a sec to select your
Yes, let me
select your
make a
instrument.
choice.
We have a couple guitars here.
Sharpen your axe.
Okay.
Yay.
All right.
Oh cool.
So if you want to just introduce your song.
Yeah. This is Pompeii, aka Pink and Blue Feathers, aka Float. And it's on Spotify. And yeah, I love this song. It's about my first boyfriend. I can see all the cracks in your concrete. To me, they look pretty neat. Rainbow colors you just can't see. Clyde and Bonnie of 2002. Think of all the things we could do. We could do. Wish you could see what I see in you. 'Cause baby, it's true. I wouldn't lie to you. Honey, till we reach the stars, we don't have to go too far. Oh, let's float away. Baby, it's not a damn thing. Pack a bag, we'll go today. Oh, let's float away. I'm in love with the truth that you speak. It feels like the sun and the sea. You beautiful masterpiece. I wish you could see what I see in you. 'Cause baby, it's true. I wouldn't lie to you. Honey, till we reach the stars, we don't have to go too far. Oh, let's float away. today. Ooh, let's float away. Ooh, I can see all the cracks in your concrete. To me they look pretty. Rainbow colors you just can't see.
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you.
I love that the cracks in your concrete.
Beautiful.
So you guys are married now. Right? Is that what happened? No?
Sadly, no. That's not what happened.
Isn't that a funny thing there? You're like, oh, well, yeah, like forever. We're just going to be like that couple in Pompeii. And then it's like, oh, no, I'm
Exactly.
14 years old. That is probably not true.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, that it doesn't happen like
No,
that.
I mean, it does for some people. I've met a couple, but
I know it does sometimes, but I mean, you know, that's the fun thing about having a first love. It's like at the time, it's like, oh, there's no limitations. There's no you don't know you don't know anything yet. You're just like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
You know
right.
nothing.
It's certainly real to you, and you don't really
Yeah.
have any what's the word, like context for what else it might be like. So it's like, sweet.
Exactly.
Or like the only
Right.
context is like movies.
Well,
so you're like,
yeah.
oh, so it's like
Sure.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, right. There's movies and like pop songs. I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah.
You never been hurt before? You're like, I'm not holding back.
Yeah. Oh, God, I know, right? That
Yeah.
is kind of the most like beautiful, pure place. It's a beautiful song. It's an
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful song.
Yeah,
Thank you
gorgeous.
so much. Thank you so
I can't wait
much.
to hear the recording. I've never heard that recording on Spotify.
Really?
No, not Float.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
it's
want
a
to
little different.
say everything I listened to is maybe newer,
Yeah, same.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up on there. It's a little different
can't
because
wait.
John produced it with me, but yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So has he produced all your stuff so far?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I only
Shout
have
out John.
Except
Yeah,
for
so good at what he
except for
does.
the mystery song.
incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
besides
The mystery song,
song.
which we'd love for you to try playing it on acoustic if you want, but you know,
What Mr. Oh,
we are young. You up for it? No.
No.
I don't know if I don't even think I remember that.
Oh no, just put your foot down. Just say no.
I'm like, I don't think I remember.
Yeah. Other than that song, John's been the guy all the way.
Yeah, pretty
awesome.
much. I think I only have one song up there right now that isn't by John, but it was mixed by John still. So
Oh, really?
That's
his
awesome.
hand is still in it.
Yeah.
Still in it.
Yeah.
My man.
Yeah, definitely. He's like a big brother to me. I love him.
Aw.
That's so
Yeah,
awesome.
Really
he
is.
actually talked about you a bit in his episode, and I could kind of, I don't know, I could definitely see like what a cool collaborative relationship you guys have. It's really
Aw,
neat.
thank you so much. I'm actually going to see him after this.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Amazing.
Tell him
Well,
we
tell
say
him we said
hello.
hello.
I
We love
definitely
him.
will. I definitely will. We're working on the album right now. It should be
Sweet.
coming out.
Oh, are you doing a full length?
Yeah, full length
Ooh,
album, but
very nice.
very exciting.
When does that
Very
come out?
exciting. Yeah.
I'm shooting for spring.
Nice.
But
That's
we will
perfect.
see.
Well,
We will see.
sometimes it's not entirely within your control, but
Yeah.
yeah, spring
We'll
sounds
see.
doable.
Yeah, sounds doable. See how much work we have left, but
That'd be
yeah,
perfect timing.
That's
certainly
awesome.
we'll try it.
Well, we
Yeah.
kind of like to bridge the gap a little bit, and so that was like when I guess did we say that was the first single you put out? Or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So-
was the first single.
So then, what sort of happened after that? Like, did you just go like, okay, I did it. Like, let's work on more stuff, or like, did you like do a radio campaign? Like, what kind of happened after that?
After that, oh my gosh, I put out the other two songs, did an EP. which subsequently I have taken down the other 2 songs because I didn't like them anymore. Because,
Oh, really?
We hear that a lot.
What is
Yeah.
what is
Interesting.
an artist if not to just hate what they make?
Your own worst critic, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
You have had a couple other people tell us something similar, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I put those up. I did a music video, also took that down because
Really?
I didn't like it.
Was it like a quality issue?
It was, it wasn't a quality issue. It was just, I was like freshly 16. I was like, had a lot of ideas that I don't know if I like them anymore. And I was
Yeah.
just like, we're going to like tuck that away. I don't know. I don't know how much I'm into that anymore, but that's the fun part about doing music so young is you're like, yeah, I just like memorialized this like weird point in my life that is like kind of cringy, which is
Well,
okay.
I was actually going to ask you kind of something similar to that of like, yeah, like when you actually started like making and releasing things so early, then there's this like, and things that are really yours too, things that, not like, a Justin Bieber who, was not really writing, for example, or was having like a very carefully curated thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like how you kind of feel about like what sense of progress you have, like when you look back to your first voice audition to like what you're presently doing now, because I mean it hasn't actually been that long, but like how does that feel to you? Do you see a big kind of arc or
Oh yeah.
yeah?
It feels like it's been like 20 years.
Right.
I'm not even. Sometimes I get like really confused because I feel like 16 and I also feel like 30 at the same time, and I'm like, oh, I feel like, oh yeah, but there's a big difference. There's a huge difference. I feel like my writing has changed a lot since the first few songs I put out. I feel like the way that I go about writing has changed even, like, and you see it in the music and in my just overall like my visual choices and the other artistic things that go along with the music.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot. So, but I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of it to look back like and see how much I've grown and how the topics I've talked about have changed and grown.
Yeah.
It's so different. I feel like when you're young, you just want to like self-pity all the time, which is like,
I don't know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. So it's fun to be out of that era now. I'm like, oh, a little less self-pitying. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat. That's neat that you can feel the progress. Kind of like I think a lot of folks, and certainly I can say this for myself, I think are too maybe afraid to like be that vulnerable or something when they're young because, being different is so scary when you're 13 years old or whatever. So they, maybe never actually put any of it out there. So it's just sort of like locked away somewhere. And, like that's a very safe choice, but it's kind of neat to be like, no, I did it. Here it is. I presented it to the world. Like,
Yeah.
and everybody can kind of track the journey of Lili Joy, I think that's
yeah.
really neat.
It's all out there. It's really, you can find videos of me singing at like restaurants at like 6 and 7 years old and 8 years
gosh.
old and 9 years old. Oh, it's all
Oh,
out there.
that's
yeah.
very adorable. We should
Yeah.
definitely find some of
Show
those.
notes.
Yeah, show notes because I will definitely find some of those.
Yeah.
Tony.
I'll send them to you too.
Oh, thank you. I don't have to find them.
Yeah, I'll send you the links, but it's all out there. Yeah,
That's
I love
adorable.
it. I thank my mom 100% because I
So
think
do we.
she like, I think because she was in her life pushed into the direction of like, you're going to business school and like you're going to go to college and do this. When I grew up as a little kid and she saw me having an interest in all of this, she was like, we're going to let you do it to as much as you want. And my dad was the same. He's like, we're going to like,
That's awesome.
so
Yeah. That's
they're
really nice.
they were there driving me to everything and just
Oh, that's great.
Kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who needs soccer, right? Like,
I also did play soccer.
well, I mean, you are from Southern California. I think it's like part of the deal.
Soccer team.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like everybody here plays soccer.
Oh yeah, I played soccer for like years and years. I loved it actually.
What position?
Defense.
Nice.
Defense, yeah. I played it forever. I actually recently did like a for fun soccer game like this last summer and broke my toe, which was like super fun.
No.
Yeah, so still like it. I was, but yeah, did the acting, did the soccer, did all that.
That seems like a very
full-
Southern California experience.
Yeah, especially like the whole like, yeah, honey, I'm taking you out of school early so we can go do a Disneyland commercial, or I'm taking you out of school early so we can go do like a commercial audition, this, that. Yeah, I don't think it gets more Southern California than
No,
that.
it's truly not.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. You're working on an album. Do you have anything newish you'd like to play for us?
Even just like a snip of something?
I have recorded stuff. I also have some stuff I could play on guitar.
Ooh.
Yeah, whatever
just-
you'd
I mean,
like.
we'll take what we can get. To be
Yeah.
We
honest.
will take what we
Really?
can get, yeah.
Okay. I'll play some on guitar. I have some stuff for you. I just have to pull up on my phone real quick, but I'll show you.
I always need a cheat sheet. Don't even worry.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, this one will be exclusively on the album. I think. I don't think we're releasing it as a
Ooh,
single,
exciting.
which
Oh,
is
nice.
kind of fun. Oh, I think this one has a capo.
Oh, I have
we
one.
have capos.
Oh,
There's
cool.
a capo in the little flappy
Oh, that
bit.
would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
The Capo Exchange.
Did I call it the flappy bit? Wow.
Okay. It's capo form. This is called Sense May. And it's about graduating high school. I was just talking about not pitying myself, but this is a self-pitying song. It's okay.
That's
It's
okay.
a little less.
Yeah.
yeah, a little
gradual,
less,
yeah.
little less than probably 15 or 16. Yeah.
Things haven't felt the same since May. Seems all the blue jays have up and flown away, and I'm still reeling. I'm leaning towards receiving. I dreamt of holidays in space. I thought the journey wasn't worth half of the race, but now I'm dreaming, still leaning towards receiving. And there's a fine line between insanity, and there's a fine line between fantasy and fate. And there's a fine line between insanity, and there's a fine line between fantasy and fate. Things haven't felt the same since then. I think the world will never love me quite the same, but I'm still grieving. Just need some time for feeling.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Wow.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, thank you
Seriously,
so
I love your
much.
voice so much.
Thank you so much. Wow. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
This
you
is
for
Thank you,
having
Lili.
me.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad that everything worked out. Yeah.
Oh, it worked out more than perfect.
Yeah, can't
Okay.
wait for
Yeah.
your new
Great.
album.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a
Oh
name
my
for the album
gosh.
yet?
I don't.
Okay.
And that's actually
So we're
a
taking-
source of my stress. I don't know what to name it at all.
I'll send you 40 names.
Perfect. Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you guys.
Lili Joy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Woo, you rocked it.
Awesome.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to that new album.
Same.
Such a beautiful voice.
I need it.
And her songwriting is just on point.
Oh, yeah.
And, if we've said it once, we've said it 1,000 times. We love supportive parents.
Yep. Mom, pops, love you guys.
Seriously. For those of you not from Southern California, Chino Hills is not that close to LA. So thank you first to Lili Joy for coming all this way to talk to us. And thanks to her parents for driving her to all those auditions. She's got a new single coming out tomorrow. That's May 31st. You can check that out on Spotify. She's also got a full album coming at the end of June. Very exciting. You can follow her on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube at Lili Joy, but she spells them all differently, so you can check our show notes for that if you want. You could also follow our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We love a subscribe, rate, review. You can also follow us on all the socials at Rawkwardness. Thanks for listening. We love you, and we will see you next week.
Bye.